Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey today is being brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Sport Automotive, Chevrolet, and Honda. John Carlson's a sport fan, B12. Visit sportautomotive.com. MedStar Health, official medical team of the Washington Capitals. Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com. And by Commuter Connections, free commuter information and a range of ride-sharing options at commuterconnections.org. Ride happy. A colorful Saturday afternoon in the nation's capital inside of Verizon Center with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin upstairs. Alan May inside the glass. Al Koken ringside for you as the Caps and Rangers conclude the regular season. Both of them playoff participants. Kelly Sutherland, Mark Schoenett of the referees, Derek Amell and Michel Cormier have the lines. The Washington Capitals on this Fan Appreciation Day, when they give the jerseys off their backs at the end of the game, they're wearing their winter classic reds. Back through center, Rangers in the traditional white roadies. These two teams, which have squared off 3 times prior, with Ovechkin's wrist shot floating wide of Henrik Lundqvist. The Rangers with a pair of victories at Washington's expense, along the way to 52 wins under Alain Vigneault's direction, and a President's Trophy.
And one of the best seasons ever in franchise history for the guys, the blue shirts. On the road, Joe B, 27 wins and 56 points. The Capitals have had a splendid season from start to finish with Barry Trotz at the helm.
You're seeing the line combinations, defense pairings, top of the screen. Locker mentions those big road numbers for Alain Vigneault. Those are both franchise records in Ranger history. Caps win the draw. Alsner pumps this one wide of the cage. Shepard for the Rangers, able to glance it back to center, where a turning Matt Niskanen will reel it in for Washington. It squirts towards the goal. That's where Braden Holtby is, making his 25th straight start. A club record. The Capitals know they have the New York Islanders next week in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. What remains to be settled is home ice advantage for that series. Should the Caps win today in any fashion, they'll be the number 2 seed.
And you'd like to get that win. Verizon's been pretty good for this hockey teams over the last 5 or 6 seasons. To get home ice would be really a good thing for this Capitals club.
29-year-old Matt Hunwick, who will turn 30 in May, rolls back through center for New York. The Rangers sitting Rick Nash today, also Mark Stahl as well. Both of those guys resting minor ailments. As Glenn Cross gets the jump on Hunwick, he recovers well defensively for New York.
And Klein is soon to return for their blue line core, and we'll see how that shakes out early this week when the playoffs start. Probably Thursday for this Ranger club, with the Knicks having to play on Wednesday. So Klein, if he gets back in the lineup, they're a different blue line core.
Centering pass for Hayes, returns it to Hagelin. Klein at plus 24, top 4 among NHL defenders.
Yeah, he broke his arm on a slap shot dump in by Alex Ovechkin.
Recoiling at center, Brooks Orpik there for Washington. Both teams in the midst of line changes. John Carlson finds Stan Galiev, 49 in the red. Galiev playing his second NHL game.
Yeah, great to see him come up in the American Hockey League, having an excellent year with 25 goals. It's taken him a couple of years to acclimate to the pro style here in North America. He's been really good in the American League. It's good that the Capitals have a chance to take a look at his play.
Holtby will reverse for Niskanen, then Galiev. Twisting right into the forecheck of Dominic Moore. Burakovsky goes one-on-one. Help coming, the back pressure from Foss. And the Rangers have the puck as we approach the 4-minute mark of a scoreless first.
And that's from day one for the Rangers and Caps. They both coaches preach defense, and there you see good back pressure, much like the Capitals when it comes to back checking. The Rangers also one of the top teams in the business.
Capitals were the only shot in this game thus far. Girardi tees it up. That passes away from JT Miller.
And guys, this game has the feel of a playoff game already. They're feeling each other out. They may be foes in the second round if they both have success in the first. And right now the Capitals are just trying to take away all the space in the skating legs of the New York Rangers, who are one of the fastest teams in the National Hockey League, if not the fastest.
Offside here, Allen, against Washington. Locker, take us through the net-minding matchup.
Well, the visitors come to town, and they're going to go right back with Lundqvist. You know, the coach probably said, hey, do you want to play or not? He absolutely wants to play. Number one, he wants to get into a groove, and number two, he wants 30 wins again in his career. And Braden Holtby going for a top franchise record with 42 wins if he gets it today. The backup for the Rangers is Talbot. The backup for the Caps is Peters. Talbot took them under their wings and led them to a lot of victories when Lundqvist, the king, was out with that neck ailment.
Missing 24 games, and Cam Talbot fashioned 21 total wins, as you can tell at the bottom of the screen.
And he was probably ready to jump over the boards in their last game against Ottawa when Zibanejad fell on the knee of Lundqvist. There was silence. They can't afford injuries. They've been pretty injury-free this season, as have the Caps overall compared to a lot of teams around the NHL.
Washington missing Jay Beagle, Eric Fair, Tom Wilson, and John Erskine on their injured list. Nicholas Backstrom under Barry Trotz's direction. The Capitals coming in 45 victories, 101 points, cracking the 100-point plateau once again.
Well, when we met with Barry Trotz in June, I had a little function here with season ticket holders. I said, my final question of the night, are you going to make the playoffs? Emphatically, yes, we are going to make the playoffs, and he has delivered in a big way.
A man of his word.
Sure is.
Yandel will turn it for Hunwick. Galiev bunts it off for Burakovsky. Andre Burakovsky lassoed there by Hunwick as the puck squirts loose. Jesper Fast cleans it up for New York. Rangers in possession, will tumble wide of Braden Holtby. Tim Gleason there for the Capitals. Sidestepping the heavy hitter Tanner Glass. Gleason busting his way back through neutral.
Wow, getting into the Capital style, isn't he? He didn't do that when he was in Carolina. He sat back. Now he's joining the rush. Now he's involved. He's had a real good start since becoming a Washington Capital.
You won't see him leading the rush very often.
I'm saying, that's what I thought. Wow, there he goes.
Mike Green, however, he'll get up into the flow quite a bit.
Well, their whole team, their last 12 games, this defensive core has been on the money. 32 points the last 12 games for this Capitals team, and that's something that must continue in the playoffs. Everybody says it's a different game, and it is when it comes to team defense in the playoffs.
St. Louis hooks a nice pass there. Interior comes Hayes. Just poke checked at the last instant.
Hayes is pretty creative, isn't he? Big reach, able to curl and drag it. Just didn't finish it off with a good shot on net.
All 6'5" of them.
Yep.
Looking to wrap here. Hayes turns to his backhand, deals for St. Louis. To the goal mouth, it's just rolled wide as Boyle was up from the defense position. Marcus Johansson tiptoes back through center. Backstrom has an alleyway. Carving in. The pass for Johansson that was scuttled by fellow Swede, Carl Hagelin. Hayes will golf at it. Alain Vigneault wants the line change as we cross the 6-minute mark of a scoreless first.
When you get back to it, guys, you talk about the Caps defense moving the puck and how involved they've been with the offense. You think of it, Mike Green, the third pairing defenseman, has 45 points on the season. That's 18th overall in all National Hockey League defensemen. John Carlson, 6th. He's done an exceptional job, 12 goals, 42 assists, but Matt Niskanen, another guy moving the puck, said on the left side of their team, all defensive defensemen. Carl Alzer, drastic improvement this year. Brooks Orpik continues to be consistent, physical shot blocking, and then you add Gleason. It's just a very good-looking defense pairings that they've had all season long.
To the front. Holtby makes a save there on J.T. Miller. 22-year-old native of Ohio, very dangerous.
And he's moved up. You know, Stepan and Kreider usually play with Marty St. Louis. And because of the play of Miller, Joe, they have left him in that line slot as the second-line winger or center. He's played that well. He's big, he's strong, and can really wheel.
This is icing against New York downstairs. Here's Al Koken.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. As always, we invite our viewers to join our conversation with a question today about hardware that's going to be soon given out in the National Hockey League. So tell us who you believe will win the Hart and Vezina trophies and why. Get your responses in to hashtag Capitals Talk. I think there are a few candidates on the ice this afternoon, gentlemen.
Indeed. Busy day around the NHL this final day of the regular season. John Carlson with a rocket that was knocked down in front and hit the screener, Joel Ward. All 30 teams in action this final day of the regular season. As Orpik will clear in.
The only trophy we are sure on is the Rocket Richard. Other than that, there's a lot of players in contention for the other major awards.
Zuccarello back in business for New York. He sat out their most recent outing against Ottawa a couple nights back.
Had my same ailment. Total body soreness, Joby.
True. Ovechkin pulls up and fires. That's a glancing blow off of McDonough wide of the cage. Alzner, who's been terrific this year and on the job each and every night. Niskanen can say the same for him just as well. The Capitals, as Alan May was discussing, perhaps their deepest defense core in 2 decades, and so many of these guys have managed to come through the season unscathed injury-wise. A huge benefit to the Capitals club. McDonough sails one in from center. Alzner taken to the glass by Glass. Like sends it out wide for Chimera, and he'll clear in. Do not adjust your television sets. The Capitals are wearing their Winter Classic Reds on this Fan Appreciation Day. No score with visiting New York Rangers. 8.5 gone by. On the go, it's Summers looking for St. Louis, who lost the handle of it. Backstrom takes the puck, but then coughed it up. St. Louis sprints into a 2-on-2. Hagelin sends it wide to the goal mouth.
Doesn't seem that knee injury has slowed him down at all. Marty can still fly.
Tremendously well conditioned at the age of 39. He's always in great shape.
And it'll be interesting to see if he re-ups with the New York Rangers. He's a UFA come July 1st for this hockey club.
Diving effort there at the blue line made by Gleason. Returns the puck for Johansson. Tim Gleason moves it along for Marcus. Drifting wide. Johansson turns. Keeps it to his forehand. Nice look for Orpik. Getting up into the rush. Brooks Orpik defended by Yandel. John Carlson managed to keep it in. The deflections off the post from Brouwer. Backstrom has the Ranger defense hung up. His centering pass was intercepted, but not cleared. Orpik sprinkles it wide of the net. Backstrom to his backhand. Nicholas, a flying saucer pass. Amazing to Carlson there.
His backhand is like a lot of players' forehand. He can play both sides of the stick, and you saw that rink-wide sauce.
Kuznetsov knifing in there, defended by Yandel. Keith Yandel playing game number 84 today.
Yeah, the most in the NHL after coming over from Arizona.
Do you have to pay him overtime?
No, you don't.
Alzner leaving it below the goal line.
He gets paid enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't need overtime pay.
Very good point. Kreider bumps it out wide. Here comes Stepan to the interior looking for Kreider. Just a bit out of his reach. Shots on goal, just 2-2 in the first 10 minutes. Both of these teams playing this first period like they've got the playoffs ahead of them. Let's hurry up and get through game 82.
Amtrak's at 3:23.
Shepard to point position. The wrister that was squelched. Shepard turns the corner. Getting Girardi activated. Niskanen failed to clear. 5-on-5 play. Neither team with a power play to speak of just yet. As Ovechkin works through center. 3-on-3. A touch pass to the flank for Ward. Back checked by Shepard. Ovechkin finds Gleason with all day to fire. It's snapped out of the air by Henrik Lundqvist. 10:56 into the opening frame. No score, Rangers and Capitals. Although Washington very close right here. Follow the bouncing biscuit. Ding! Packed to the gills again inside of Verizon Center. Rangers and Caps, no score on Comcast Sportsnet. Locker Star Trek presented by Toyota. Two outstanding defenders.
Yeah, for the Rangers, Ryan McDonough, their 25-year-old captain, had sort of a mediocre offensive year, but he has 5 points in his last 5 games overall. On the Capital side, a wonderful year. You see sixth among all D is John Carlson, 6 points his last 4. Huge minutes. and racking up the points here in Washington.
We saw assistant coach Todd Reardon lecturing John there in that quick cutaway, and those two have done outstanding work together. Green fires, pad save Lundqvist. Latta out there for Washington along with Burakovsky and Galiev. Those two wingers on recent reassignment from the American Hockey League's Hershey Bears. Keeping an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard, Ottawa has a lead against Philadelphia early in the contest today. How hot has Mark Stone been lately? A power play goal for the Sens, who are trying to cap off an amazing run to get back into playoff position.
Yeah, Stone's got a great set of mitts and can really rifle the puck. The Ottawa Senators since February 10th, one of the great stories, as you mentioned, Joe B. 22, 4 and 4 coming into today's action.
Hagelin sends it wide. It's kept at point position by Hayes, who goes 360 around Latta.
Got it.
On the interchange, set it up for Hunwick. Keep it on the perimeter. The sharp angle bid from Yandel caught the outside of the goal.
Everything's to the outside in this hockey game. You can see how detailed both teams are to defense in their own zone. That's why the goalies really have not been tested. They've been long-range shots and shots outside the dots.
Snapshot coming here. Lundqvist, the pad stop. The rebound was flexed to the front by Johansson, but the Rangers had it surrounded. St. Louis fidgets into the offensive zone. Marty St. Louis pulls the trigger. Holtby makes the blocker save. Hayes in a wrestling match with Niskanen. McDonough fires. That's weakened. Backhand, they score. On the follow-up chance, it's Hayes to make it 1-0 New York.
And hit a couple of guys on the way to the net, and there's Kevin Hayes right on the doorstep. He's had a wonderful year, a former first-rounder of the Blackhawks, signed as a free agent. Big wingspan, gets his 17th goal. The Capitals can't clear. Marty St. Louis, a good play. You see the double ricochet. That looked like he got it out of midair and chipped it home. Watch this. Mid-air on the backhand on our 84 Lumber slow-mo cam. Amazing hand-eye coordination by their big pivot. Kevin Hayes gives them a 1-0 lead.
Big fella turns 23 in May. Has a dozen points in his last 13 games. 12:36 the time of the tally. His 17th on the year. 1-0 for New York. And New York, like Washington, has been brilliant this season when getting the game's first goal.
Yeah, both these teams really rely on that. The Capitals the best. The Rangers right up there in the top 5. They get a lot of confidence striking first.
Rangers have 40 wins this season.
Amazing.
40 of their 52 when they strike first. As the puck leaves the rink, we'll get you back for the final 7 minutes of the opening period. The Grade 8 and the Caps entertaining the Rangers. And it's Kevin Hayes on the board.
Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Todd Reardon, there's a great pace of this game. Does it have a playoff feel to you?
Yeah, I'd say, teams right now, it's a real fast-paced game. I don't think it has the physicalness of a playoff series, but certainly an important game for us here to try to secure home ice.
All right, we appreciate Todd Reardon and Illegal Seafood's bite of the night.
Al Todd's boss, Barry Trotz, said he fully expected this to be a very competitive match between Washington and New York. As John Carlson will turn, this is going to be icing against the Rangers. He loves these lunchtime lessons. Here's Craig's Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
Today, Joe, it's about keep it clicking for the guys in red. Really get it going. They've got points in 8 of their last 10. Barry Trotz's team seems to be very comfortable in all aspects of their game, from the defense to the neutral zone to the offensive execution. That must continue. Players want to go into playoffs with confidence, individually and as a team. Keep it going here today.
Ovechkin to the front. Lundqvist anticipating that pass, made a good save on Joel Ward. If you've been with us all season long, you know the Caps are celebrating their 40th anniversary season. 25 times now they will have qualified for the playoffs. Back in it again this spring for the 7th time in the last 8 campaigns. The New York Islanders await. The same Islanders who host Columbus tonight. But should Washington win against the Rangers in any fashion today, the Caps would have the home ice advantage and finish 2nd in the Metro. There's a delayed penalty call coming up. It's against Washington. The call is holding. Back with a Ranger power play. We'll do just that in just a few moments. Get you back to Washington, D.C. on CSN. 1-0 lead. Mike Green is in the penalty box for holding. Chuck Gormley's our Caps insider, presented by Burke and Herbert Bank. Chuck wishes to discuss the very busy Braden Holtby.
That's right, Joe. 73 games this season, leads the league. The last goalie to lead the league in games played and win the Stanley Cup, Grant Fuhr, 27 years ago. So I'll tell you, he's got big shoes to fill there. Barry Trotz said he's comfortable going with him back to back to back. Blue-collar work ethic with a white-collar skill is how he describes him.
Tends to do more work when he's given the day off. Just keep playing him. You can read more of Chuck's work at csnwashington.com.
Once you're in a rhythm, you don't want to get out of it, and that holds true for the Caps' great netminder.
So here come the New York Rangers on the power play. In the first 3 games against Washington, they are 2 for 15. St. Louis hammers that one off the shoulder of Holtby. Just tuning in with us on CSN and the American Forces Network. It's the Rangers 1 and Washington 0. Hayes from McDonough and St. Louis. New York power play for another 128. 5:22 to go in the first. St. Louis steers it for McDonough. A wrister that's gobbled up by Holtby.
Good opportunity for Marty. Taking that slap shot off the wing, hits the right shoulder of Braden Holtby. They set up an umbrella, and there comes the seam pass, trying to move the Caps left to right. Pretty good positioning there. Not a whole lot of white jerseys around. Obviously, on their power play, you usually see a guy like Rick Nash out there. Not in the lineup here today, so Marty gets first power play work. Good opportunity early on.
The gloves and the pads are missing from Braden Holtby's Winter Classic ensemble. He's wearing the mask, though, that he wore on New Year's Day at Nats Park. This is cleared all the way to Henrik Lundqvist. Speaking of masks, he's been doing an interesting rotation. Backstrom loose in front. Brassard with a good back check ahead of a short-handed Joel Ward.
An awkward-looking play by Lundqvist, moving that puck to his right.
Boyle sends it on around. It bounced away from Zuccarello. A helpful bounce for Washington's Carl Alsner, who will clear.
Right off the left leg of the referee down in the corner. This power play hasn't been coming along like you would expect from a President Trophy winning hockey team. 19 power play goals at home, 19 on the road.
17% effective away from Madison Square Garden. Girardi gloves it down on a failed clear. Zuccarello shifting gears away from Gleason. Green has another 17 seconds in the penalty box. Brassard fires and scores from way downtown through the screen.
Then you can roll the tape back to where Gleason gets the puck and fails to clear. Usually that happens. Mike Green in the box, Gleason doesn't clear. They're able to hold in with Girardi, and there's a wicked blast to the top corner by Brassard, who's had a great year. Here comes the shot, and there it is through a maze of players. The Capitals had it, didn't clear, and now they're down 2-0 here this Saturday afternoon. A wicked shot with a forward playing the point, pipe and in. The Rangers up 2-0.
Brassard has done most of his damage at home this year. That's just the second time ever he has scored in the regular season against Washington. He has goals in back-to-back games against the Caps. The Rangers have a 2-0 lead.
High in points, high in assists for Derek Brassard this season.
Fost down in a heap. Gleason being gestured to by the referee Mark Joannette. The Caps could be shorthanded again. Jesper Fost, the 23-year-old Swede, is just now picking himself off the ice.
Having a tough go at it with his legs, trying to get his legs moving there. It looked like he might have also been winded as he took the brunt of Big Gleason's hit on the wall. He's been a good player for this Ranger team this year. Very good, especially on the PK. Added a lot of muscle in the offseason, become more physical. Right side of the screen, you see the finish of Gleason catching the right knee and leg of Fost.
Referee Joannette there, you see him making that motion. He wasn't pointing at Gleason, he was just saying where he wanted the draw to come. No foul against Washington's number 6. McDonough moves it along the line. Wrister punched at by Braden Holtby. The Caps have fallen behind by 2 to the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. Third time in their history they've won that, as the Caps are being outshot 8-7. Green for Gleason to a turning Kuznetsov. Hawked by Glass. Yevgeny Kuznetsov all the way to the corner. Finished off along the boards by Glass. Ovechkin snaps it for Green. Green waits, then fires high on Lundqvist.
That's a great move by Green. A great shimmy at the point. Freezes a defender. He's able to get a better lane to the net. Just rifles it high and wide of the blocker.
McDonough will saucer it out.
Well, guys, I'll tell you, the New York Rangers don't want to play a physical hockey game today, but the Capitals have a lot at stake. They're still trying to get home ice advantage, so they're going to have to up their game physically and make sure that they start pounding down on the Rangers inside the offensive zone.
That's Alan May inside the glass for us today. Hunwick chops at that one. It'll float wide of the goal. Green takes it off the wall.
And to talk about the playoffs a little more, to follow up on Alan May's thought, home ice last year 56-37 were the games won and lost for the home team, so there was a home ice advantage. I'm not so sure how big it is, but obviously the Caps are very comfortable here at Verizon Center.
We know Nassau Coliseum will be a noisy cauldron.
Most wins on home ice for that Islander team, Joe, since '84. So they've been really hyped up on their last season playing there at the Coliseum.
Capitals, should they not get victory today against the Rangers as Glenn Cross works in, they'll need some help to get home ice advantage. Help in the form of a Columbus Blue Jackets win.
Maybe the hottest team in the NHL right now. Columbus simply does not lose. If they are healthy, Joe, look out Eastern Conference next year.
Brooks Light goes down in a heap. Rangers in the white jerseys have the puck. A bit more than 130 with which to work in this first period of play.
Foligno's had a heck of a year. Hit 31 goals last night with his goal.
Lundqvist feels that pop fly and he'll cover. Nissan Road to the playoffs. We're looking at life in the Eastern Conference.
Well, here you take a look. You take a look, the Rangers, the Caps, the Isles, Habs, Lightning, Red Wings, Senators, Penguins, and the Bruins battling it out ahead of the Blue Jackets and the Flyers, but there's still some work to be done here today. Interesting that today we have all the teams playing, all the teams battling. It's a great Saturday for hockey.
Alain Vigneault's squad can't do much advanced scouting, though. They could play Detroit, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, or Boston. Still, as of this day, they could have 4 different playoff competitors in the first round. Ovechkin rockets that one wide of the goal. Alex Ovechkin working doggedly on that forecheck, takes it off the boards. Cycles to Ward, erased there by Zuccarello. Ward bouncing right back up. Joel Ward in the final minute of the first. Ovechkin with Girardi there shoulder to shoulder. This is off of the rink. Face-off to come outside as we welcome Alan May inside the glass.
Hey guys, when we think about the Capitals and the way they played this season, last year didn't make the playoffs, a very easy team to play against, starting in the defensive zone. A lot more compact, a physical team, shot blocking, physical, and then you get to the neutral zone. So much more back pressure, pressure on the puck by the forwards, and you notice everyone on this team, whether it's Ovechkin, Backstrom, Marcus Johansson, all puck pressure, and then in the offensive zone, finally forechecking with a purpose, tough on the puck, winning puck battles, and the type of hockey that they played all season long, you've got to think that that is more conducive to success in the playoffs.
Nice job by you to itemize pretty much the blueprint for Barry Trotz that he came to town. And this is his first season as the head coach here in Washington.
And the biggest thing probably, guys, is the fact that they cut goals against down by just about a half. And everyone knows come the playoff time, I don't know what it is, it's not a myth. Goals go down drastically, and if you can't defend, you're going to be out in a hurry. This year, the Caps can defend.
And they're getting wonderful net mining from the guy at this end of the rink.
That's a big part of it.
2-0 today. Hayes and Brassard have pierced Holtby. With 5 seconds to go in the frame. Backstrom will stay put along the boards as the siren sounds. 1/3 of the way through regulation in game number 82. Kevin Hayes at 12:36. Brassard a little bit more than 2 minutes later. And the Rangers have a 2-goal advantage. Rangers filing off to the dressing room. It brings us to Zayo Intermission Live. Here's what we have coming up on the menu. Al Koken and Alan May will keep us company. Highlights and stats from up here in the booth, and we'll ask Locker to do a little bit more telestration before this regular season is done. On Fan Appreciation Day, here at Verizon Center, the Rangers have a 2-0 advantage. Zayo Intermission Live starts on the other side of this break. He's being brought to you by your Washington area Chevy dealers. Find your local dealer on ChevyFirst.com. Morgan Franklin Consulting. Big capabilities, local roots. MorganFranklin.com. AAA. Start your journey at AAA.com. Iron Bow Technologies. Visit them at ironbow.com. Pentagon Federal Credit Union. The place to do better when it comes to home, auto, and personal finance. And by Night Point Systems, offering you the technology you need when you need it. Soaking up some sun in the nation's capital. This the final day of the regular season. Saturday, April 11th, with the Washington Capitals entertaining the New York Rangers, and the Rangers on top by 2. Before we start period number 2, Thompson Creek with his window of opportunity, the best hits of the year.
Yeah, the Caps are bigger, meaner, and more physical. A couple of good Niskanen run-ins or pick. This is what happens when you miss trying to deck a guy. Niskanen again. He gets a lot of cred here. Alex Ovechkin running over. Niskanen again. A sandwich down low. Another sandwich. The Capitals are a team that play way more physical than they have in the last several seasons. They are team tough, which is something you need come in the playoffs.
A number of different ways to make a highlight reel as Alex Ovechkin and his mates are back on the ice for the start of period number 2. The NHL on Comcast Sportsnet, and we welcome viewers today on the American Forces Network all around the world. Here in Washington, where the Capitals are wearing their Winter Classic Reds against the New York Rangers, the President's Trophy winners, all 52 wins and 111 points strong in town at Verizon today.
And the Capitals have to be much better than they were in the first. Sort of a little sleepy first period. They have to get their feet moving. We mentioned the forecheck, moving their feet, but play a fast game the rest of the way here against the Rangers.
Have an icing call against Washington. Time for our military salute, brought to you by Pentagon Federal Credit Union. Today's honoree, Staff Sergeant Christina May, who's been active in the U.S. Air Force since 2010. Thank you, Christina. We very much appreciate all of your efforts and your fellow servicemen and women. Washington trailing by 2 on home ice. Hayes and Brassard on the board for the Rangers. If the Caps rally to win today, they'll be the second place team in the Metro. They'll have home ice in their best of 7 against the New York Islanders, which will begin in the week ahead.
And Kuznetsov, he has been wonderful the second half of the season for this Caps team. And you see the mentality there, shoot first rather than dangle. Because of that, he's got more goals. 11 goals, 37 points, right up there among all rookie points guys, and has a very good plus-minus at +11.
Kuznetsov, who will turn 23 in May, yielding the center chores here to Nicholas Backstrom. Backstrom was very good in terms of face-off wins in the first. Niskanen fires, and that's jabbed aside by Henrik Lundqvist in the goal for the Rangers. In his first 10 seasons in the NHL, Lundqvist, 20 or more wins in each of those. The only player in NHL history who can say that. As Brassard worms his way into the offensive zone, finds Summers on the deflection try there. Shepard turned away by Holtby. Zuccarello marked along the boards, forced that pass, and it'll force Boyle to work through center and clear in.
And for the Rangers, obviously they've got a pretty good tandem in Talbot and Lundqvist, but they do have a lot of experience. When you look at Lundqvist's career, you look at all his games he's played regular season, Joe, but his next start in the playoffs will be his 93rd time that he's played in the playoffs.
Very well familiar with the pressure-packed cauldron that is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, the last 5 seasons, only the LA Kings have actually played more playoff games than this Ranger club.
Turning to stuff there, Johansson, and Lundqvist beat him to the post. to cover up.
Second time in this hockey game that Mojo has attempted a wrap against Lundqvist. He is a goalie that sets deep on the line, which makes it easier to push across. He was there before Mojo was able to wrap. Look at how quickly the left pad gets across there. He utilizes a lot of martial arts. Remember Leonard? Leonard, the goalie, his dad teaches him a lot of martial arts, which shows you that explosiveness and quickness when he's sitting on that goal line.
Kuznetsov excused from the faceoff dot. Troy Brouwer will dig in. Wins about 57% of the year. Lost that one cleanly, however. Glass didn't get it out. Johansson, a first-time 20-goal scorer for the Caps this season. Dan Girardi moves it ahead. Girardi for New York, their hits and block shots leader. Moore waiting for it, takes it off the corner boards. Switching the point of attack. The captain, McDonough, gets into frame. Green protecting the front of the goal. Two teams are at even in full strength as we approach the 3-minute mark of the second. 2-0 for the Rangers, both goals in the opening 20. Glass turns. One hands that pass. It was a weak one. Kuznetsov didn't get it out. Moore's behind the defense with a backhand. He scores. Dominic Moore makes it 3-love.
What a rocket. That's Moore's 10th goal of the season. The Capitals a little careless getting out of their zone. He has 4 goals his last 7 games. His previous 150 or more games, he had 10 goals. So this year has been a coming out party for the veteran. There's the turnover. The Caps don't get it out of the zone. Look at that shot. I mean, that is a wicked backhand. It looked as good as a snapshot the way he let that fly. Braden is as surprised as anybody on our Jeep net cam. You'll see him moving over, and look at him look around. He says, how the heck did that just beat me? 3-0 Rangers.
The well-traveled Dominic Moore. He who has played with 9 different NHL teams. A second tour of duty in New York as St. Louis explodes back through neutral with Hagelin.
An original draft for the New York Rangers, Joe B, way back in 2000.
Chimera will roll this one to the corner. Joe and Craig upstairs for you today with the NHL on CSN. Alan May inside the glass. Al Koken, our rinkside reporter. Brooks Laich, part of a veteran trio here with Chimera and Glenn Cross. Chimera fighting through the wash. The last time these teams tangled in late March, Jason had a couple of third-period goals, leading Washington to a 5-2 win. Rangers have the puck, and St. Louis will clear deftly to center. Alsner finding Niskanen. So somewhere on Long Island, the Islanders are smiling, seeing that the Rangers have a 3-0 advantage over the Caps. The Islanders potentially second place in the Metro as they are fighting for playoff positioning with the Capitals.
And you know Columbus is going to come out and play hard. They finished their home schedule last night. They want to finish off strong on the road against the Isles.
Ovechkin all the way to point position. Softly to the corner. There's Backstrom opening up. The relay gets away from both Ovechkin and John Carlson all the way into Holtby's neighborhood.
Well, guys, you know, one of the things going on today is that the New York Rangers don't want to play physical hockey, and the Capitals can't get lulled into that. They've got to play a physical brand of hockey because the Rangers are the fastest team in the league. They've got more skill man for man, and if you just want to play shinny hockey, it's not going to go your way. And the Rangers right now are picking the Capitals apart on their soft puck play, so they've really got to get their game going here.
Holtby made a stop there.
6 giveaways already for this Capitals team.
Zuccarello testing him. Burakovsky dances into the offensive zone. Alan, continue your thought. The Rangers are especially quick. How are they in speed comparison to the Islanders?
Well, I think they're the fastest team in the league. The Islanders play a puck possession game, but they're a little more gritty than the New York Rangers. The Rangers will beat you all day long on odd man rushes. So you've got to keep them to the perimeter, but at the same time, you've got to play them physical when you have the opportunity. But you cannot let them outnumber you going to your zone at all.
3 goals on the board for New York, and they're playing without their top goal scorer and arguably their MVP in Rick Nash today. Latta works in, finds Galiev, covered up there by Boyle. Penalty call coming. Washington will get a man advantage here. as Holtby has to retreat to play the puck. He's on his way to the bench for the extra attacker.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a trip. The Caps will take this cheapy call against Shepherd. Why not? Try to get back in this hockey game.
Rangers on the touch-up here as New York will go shorthanded.
And it's going to be a tripping call. There's the call. Alain Vigneault looks on here as his penalty kill will have to go to work here this afternoon. Here it is.
New York Rangers penalty number 45.
Trying to reach
2
in
minutes
there.
for tripping.
Just a little bit of a stick there. The balance is lost. I'm not sure that's deemed a penalty, but the Caps will take it as Burakovsky goes off the ice. Shepherd comes over from the bench. He had already went there on a line change.
Top-rated power play in the NHL takes the ice for Washington, 25%. Ranger penalty killers among the top 5 on the circuit, and especially good New York on the PK in the last 11 games, better than 93% on the kill.
And only Detroit and Philly more on home ice than the Capitals' 32 power play goals. So when it comes to playoffs, you'd like that home ice advantage, obviously, and the power play could be a big factor in their first matchup against the Islanders.
You mentioned Philadelphia. Matt Reed's on the board. Flyers and Senators are 1-1. If the Senators get a point, they're in the postseason. Step on to the corner boards. Rangers there in white. John Carlson shakes it out wide for Ovechkin. The force feed to Brouwer is picked. Rangers are very dangerous shorthanded with all that speed. Stepan did not get that pass cleanly. Ovechkin wheels in for Johansson. Then Backstrom. Backstrom on the delay. Forced it along the boards to point position. Brouwer, Johansson, Ovechkin, and Carlson. Nicholas waits. Power play exists another 65 seconds. Ovechkin fires. He scores! Alex Ovechkin.
53rd goal of the season for the grade 8, 25th power play. The first time he couldn't corral it in time and had to pass the puck. The second time, even Lundqvist knew this is coming. And look at the stick already corked and ready to fly. And it skips right along the ice. Isolation of Alex Ovechkin here this afternoon on CSN. And notice where that puck is placed. Right between the legs. A look from behind on Lundqvist and our Jeep net cam. And the Caps are on the board on the power play.
Alex Ovechkin, who has tallied 5 times against the Rangers this season alone, continues his mastery straight up on Henrik Lundqvist. 16 goals in 29 meetings. Gets Washington 1 back and trailing by 2 on home ice. Hagelin on for Hayes. Strides in, drop pass is pretty. Boyle makes one more for St. Louis. Robbed there by Holtby. Pretty passing play. St. Louis was denied. Alex Ovechkin, the league's leading goal scorer. Soon to be another Rocket Richard trophy on his mantle. On CSN. Caps fans, all eyes and ears inside of Verizon Center. Rangers have a 3-1 advantage on the Toyota League leaderboard. These are the new Washington standards set by the grade 8.
Well, you look across the board, just about every category offensively. Goals, points, power play goals, game winners, OT goals, shots, a ton of multi-goal games. He's all over the place. He may never, ever have anybody in this franchise's history surpass him when it comes to offensive totals.
What's that old expression? Never say never. Although I know what you mean. Burakovsky trying to get behind the defense. Look at Lundqvist 30 feet from the cage. Galiev there to support, along with Latta, who puts it off the outside of the goal. A 3-1 Ranger advantage. Dominic Moore throws one to the front for Voss. This is Latta, who played off the boards over the head of a leaping Keith Yandel back into the Ranger zone. Ice level look at Hunwick facing the forecheck from the youngster Burakovsky. As it clicks loose for Moore, he'll scurry back through center. Braden Holtby looks to kickstart this breakout for Washington as the Rangers finish up a line change. Galiev. Nice pass. Latta just missed it on the short side.
Would I love to see him score a goal. It would have been his first of the year. Great play all around. That line has been buzzing when they have been out there for Barry Trotz.
Miller on the go. His pass deflected away. Gleason has the puck for Washington. Coughed it up. Back behind the cage, Kreider. Interchange for Stepan. Kreider pulls the trigger. That was blocked. Girardi lowers the boom and a pad save for Holtby. Ward takes the rebound. Slams it off the skates of Alex Ovechkin working through center. And then we hear a whistle with 11:36 to go in the second.
Yeah, good play by the Ladline. Galea trying to set him up. Nice little play. Watch this play going wide. Look at this nice seam pass. Right between the stick of the defenseman McDonough. Gets Lada in full speed. Look at him backhand, forehanding, shoots immediately. And that baby just whistles wide, short side.
Tell you what, guys, I'm pretty impressed with Stan Galiev right now, the way he's played the games. And, you know, you can't get overripe playing in the American Hockey League if you're playing a passionate, dedicated game. And he's committed to getting better. And he's got great legs. He's got good hockey sense so far in what we've seen. And I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do in this short little period.
Very highly skilled from what we've been told, Alan. He had 25 goals in Hershey at the time of his recall. He led the American Hockey League in power play goals at the time he was recalled. Made his NHL debut against the Boston Bruins back on Wednesday. The boys had some fun with him, letting him lead the team out for warm-up and then not following suit.
I can't believe they still bite on that. That's been going on for years now.
John Carlson works in, poke check by Dan Boyle, the veteran blue liner for New York. Nearing the midway mark of regulation time, Rangers had the first three on the board, compliments of Hayes, Brassard, and Moore. Ovechkin has struck on the power play for the Caps. You're all caught up. Whistle here, face-off to come in neutral ice. Fans, listen up, this in the promo department. The Caps are back in the playoffs. You won't want to miss any of the action. Tickets are on sale now. Purchase your tickets today. Call 800-745-3000. Washington will play the New York Islanders in the Eastern Conference first round series. The question is, who will have home ice and when will the series begin? Follow us all along at CSNWashington.com. Geico Sportsnet Central, I'm sure, will keep you up to date as to the dates and times and which stations will be covering your Caps and the Islanders as they meet for the first time in the playoffs since 1993, Locker. It's been a while.
It sure has. A lot during the 80s, though. And then the 90s, that was that 4-2 win for the Islanders. They won it on their home ice.
Chimera towards the goal mouth, knocked down, turnaround, Glenn Cross, he gunned it wide. Niskanen plays it south of the goal line for Laich, it came on through. Curtis Glencross off the cycle for Chimera. Keep it humming along for Brooks Laich, arm in arm there with Kevin Hayes. Glencross, his pass was thieved, and Hagelin will scoop it back to neutral. Niskanen to send it in. All the way around she comes. Burakovsky right back out there for head coach Barry Trotz. Fan Appreciation Day here at Verizon Center. Galiev to an open green. Slapper that was blocked. The guys will give their jerseys right off their backs at the end of the day as Gleason fires off the shoulder of Lundqvist. And those jerseys are the Winter Classic version. Commercial break time for us. Back to the big building downtown DC in just a few moments. Rangers on top.
As the crowd and his teammates celebrate Alexander Ovechkin as he's been honored on the video board as one of the top 40 players of all time for the Capitals. We're joined by Lane Lambert. Lane, Alex's goal has got you on the board. What else needs to get done to get you back in the game?
Well, I think since that goal, we've got we've gained a little bit of momentum here. We've had a couple of good opportunities after that. Obviously, being down by 2, we need to get some goals here. So the bottom line is we've got to continue playing the offensive zone like we have been.
All right, we appreciate Lane Lambert and Illegal Seafood's bite of the night.
We sure do appreciate it, Al. All throughout the regular season, the cooperation we received from Barry, from Lane, from Blaine, from Todd, Brett, and Mitch. As Braden Holtby will cover up here.
Lane's getting his playoff beard going already. A lot of the boys getting ready for the playoffs. It's an ongoing tradition. A lot of people think it started the late 70s, early 80s with the Islanders during their cup runs not to shave.
Islanders, a 4-time cup winner. Lane Lambert.
Talking to the White House.
And it looked like something out of Secret Service there. As Stepan gets in for this draw. You see at the top of the screen, the Caps have the advantage today in the faceoff dot. If you're thinking of Washington and the New York Rangers in the postseason, they've met 8 times in the playoffs. They've split 4 series. 09, 11, 12, 13, they've seen each other. These two teams, though, will not match up in the first round. It's the Caps and the Islanders in this go-round.
And I don't think Halak can do what he did to the Caps the last time the Caps played him in net. That was part of the Montreal Canadiens series.
I'm just hoping we see Michael Neuvirth.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping we see a body stand in front of Halak this playoff series because we didn't see it in the Montreal series. I remember Alexander Semin having about 45, 42, 46 shots, something like that. And I don't think there was anyone standing in front of the goaltender in the Montreal zone at all that game. So any of those games. So the big difference, the Capitals now play a more greasy style in front of the net. Make sure they're getting bodies there. They crash the net a lot more than they ever had. And it's a lot better type of brand of hockey for playoff success.
I'm with you, Alan. Set the screens and shoot high. Moving in. Kuznetsov fanned on it. Ovechkin didn't get it out to the cage as well as Brassard is there for New York.
He's not going to miss too many of them. Kuzi is going to be shaking his head. He had a tremendous play. It just shanked off the end of his stick. Didn't get anything towards the King.
Marcus Johansson in full sprint. Yandel to fetch. Plays it on for Zuccarello. That bounces off of his blade. Brouwer on the go. Working in on the attack. The Capitals, who trail by 2. Counter-punching, it's Brassard. Winds and fires, and Holtby was right there on the angle to trap it. Hadid shows us the road ahead, Locker. These would have been the playoff matchups as of this morning.
The Capitals and Braden Holtby. When we look at the matchup this morning, you take a look at the Caps and take a look at the Caps versus the Islanders, Rangers, Penguins, Lightning, Red Wings, Canadiens, and Senators. If that holds true, there's some great hockey right there, and obviously the Caps and Islanders are what we're looking forward to. Habs and Senators would be very interesting.
And the matchups out west are great too. Again, I keep saying this, we lose so many good teams in the first round. Ottawa and Philadelphia, if the Senators get a point today, they're in. Mark Stone has a goal for Ottawa. Matt Reed for the Flyers.
Not sure if you want to play Winnipeg and Calgary and Vancouver playing today or tonight with the same scenario on the line for this game. The winner gets home ice advantage.
It's the best part of the hockey season. Hagelin working ahead through center ice with Hayes. Hayes on the board with Brassard in the first for the Rangers. Moore made it 3-love. And then Alex Ovechkin struck on the power play. We have 7 minutes to go in the second period. Point position, Summers. Cranks and fires intentionally wide as Holtby bats that rebound away. Chimera twists it ahead. Glenn Cross in pursuit of the puck with his fellow 22, Dan Boyle. Brooks Laich weaving through the traffic. Collard there. St. Louis forcing him away. Summers gets the center line. He'll clear it in. Alain Vigneault wants the line change. Vigneault has 3 President's Trophies on his mantle at home. 2 of those with Vancouver.
And I think he's only the second to accomplish that. The guy at the top is Scotty Bowman, who had 4 of them.
We've heard of him. As we get the whistle here, icing against Washington. Today's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It has been a banner season for Braden.
Yeah, you look at single season best games, wins, saves, consecutive games, consecutive starts. Alan May, question for you. You played with Ole Kolzig. How does this season rack up to some of the ones he had when you played?
Well, Ole's best season and Braden Holtby's best seasons, I think we're at a tie right now because they were both spectacular, completely different styles of hockey, the different eras, the way they've had to play. But you look at how much Braden has brought to this team this year, and the amount of professionalism, and you look at everything that he does, and it's just spectacular, his working-like attitude. And you look when Ole did it, it was a lot more athletic type of game, and so many more dynamic saves because Braden really makes it look easy. So it's a tough one to call.
And it's, to me, it looks like they have the same mentality. You know, they're going to talk to guys before the game. They don't get overamped up. They're focused. I like that fact with Braden Holtby. He's just a regular guy, even during the crunch time during playoffs or the regular season.
He does have his eccentricities, though.
Yeah, but that's done before the game.
Well, I think, Locker, what you're saying, they're both excellent teammates. And a lot of times you have goaltenders that you can't talk to, and you're right. And a lot of these guys are rather weird, to put it mildly. And you just look at these
Hey,
two
wait
guys.
a second. You know Joe B was a goalie.
There we go.
There you go, enough said. We'll continue the conversation in just a few moments. 3-1 Rangers here at Verizon Center on the final day of the regular season. Rangers are still 2 clear of the Washington Capitals. Late second period. The assist leaders are presented by your local Hyundai dealers. Let them assist you in scoring the lowest prices on the hottest lineup in America. This is the race for the league leader in assists.
And Nick Backstrom with the assist on the power play goal. One better than Voracek, and Crosby trails Nick by 4. Sedin and Sedin round out our top 5. Another banner year for Nick Backstrom. He's hit, I think, what is it, 60 assists now, 5 seasons here in Washington?
I think this would be his 4th, Craig, if he gets it. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
And he's got it. It's
There you go.
impressive. He is impressive.
There was a time there where he was going great guns, as we see referee Kelly Sutherland on the line. But hashtag Capitals talk today. The question was, who's going to win the Hart and Vezina trophies this season? There was a time there about a month and a half ago where Nicholas was very much in that discussion.
Sure was. 2 coaches that could be up for Coach of the Year.
Very much so. Very much so. I think both of them would get votes. The Jack Adams Award is voted on by the NHL Broadcasters Association.
Yeah, Laviolette Nashville will get some votes, I'm sure.
I think Bob Hartley's got mine if I had one.
There you go.
They were supposed to be picking one of the first 3 draft picks in this upcoming draft, and they've done an incredible job to climb up the standings. There were a lot of young players in Calgary. Very dynamic defensive unit that no one knew they had, and they've just been spectacular to watch all season long.
The Red Mile will be hopping.
Amazing atmosphere at Saddle Dome.
Sure is,
at
isn't
Stanley
it?
Cup playoff time. Rangers have the puck, Yandel cross rink. The Hunwick blast was turned away by Brooks Orpik. Now the Caps have a 3-on-3 developing. All of that squelched, though, by a nice play by Tanner Glass.
And there you see both teams. You know, the Rangers very good in the neutral zone, as are the Caps. They don't give teams a lot of room. Notice the gap right there by the defenseman. The Caps trying to generate speed, but they're right in your grill. It's hard to get away from them.
Gallia bouncing this one wide of Lundqvist with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet today and all around the world on the American Forces Network. We welcome in the servicemen and women who are checking out the NHL action inside the Metropolitan Division. Rangers have a 3-1 lead. This New York team already clinching the President's Trophy. The best mark in the NHL's regular season, and home ice all the way for the Rangers throughout the post. Brouwer didn't tiptoe in there, would have put his teammates offside as Niskanen skies one in the Ranger zone. Backstrom pushing and shoving with Boyle. Rangers have it settled down. 5-on-5 play with 3:45 to go in the second. The Caps goal coming off of a power play strike from Alex Ovechkin. 53 tallies on the year for the grade 8, 25 of them on power play. Ward bracketed along the boards by Brassard and Boyle. Joel Ward fidgets it free for Johansson. Summers is there to clean him up. Back through center on the go at Zuccarello. He'll skip it in. With
Hey, we're hearing a lot of Ranger fans, aren't we?
Yes, we are. They'll get drowned out after a while.
You know, a lot of people think the President's Trophy is a curse. It's been given out since '86. I'm not sure I buy that theory or logic, because 8 of the 28 teams that won the President's Trophy, Joe, have won the Stanley Cup. That's about a 29% chance of winning the Cup. I'd take those type of odds any day of the week.
St. Louis on for Hagelin. Hagelin cross rink. St. Louis fires, and that's secured by Braden Holtby.
I really like that save right there by Braden, moving east-west across the paint.
Twitter, hashtag Capitals Talk. Who's going to win the Hart and Vezina trophies? Best goalie and MVP.
And they give it to Price, nods to Holtz, Rene Dubnyk, and give the Hart to Mr. Tavares. Nods to Ovi and Price.
Alex Ovechkin, who's won MVP 3 times prior. Carey Price should get both. I have a feeling that he will. You think about the teams that are going to qualify for the playoffs. I want to say Montreal's probably the lowest scoring of any of those squads. These Rangers find themselves in the top 3 and 4 when it comes to goals scored and in goals against. It's a good ratio. Last time the Rangers won the President's Trophy, they won the Cup in 1994. point position. Alsner keep it on the exterior. Stepan was there. Good defensive help coming from JT Miller, who plays a good two-way game. Chimera finds a seam. Kick out save. Old school from Lundqvist.
Looked like Gump Borsley there.
That was going Eddie Giacomin. Kreider on the go. Slap pass this way. Stepan forced it inside Miller, and he sent it high off of the rink.
I'll go John Davidson.
Okay. All of those apply.
Gilles Villeneuve.
No, wrong catching glove hand.
Yeah, you got it. Let's take a look at that kick out. Left toe. Good passing play. Again, that's the second time in this game that the Capitals have found that little seam with a net drive up the middle. Good save by the King with the left toe.
Jason Chimera, who loves playing against the Rangers, especially so at Madison Square Garden. Today, the Rangers are here at Verizon and 3-1 leaders in Game 82 of the 2014-15 campaign. Alex Ovechkin, all eyes on the Stanley Cup playoffs ahead and a date with the New York Islanders to begin this week. Backstrom controls this draw. Vigneault continues to shuffle defense pairings whenever number 8's on the ice. Preference is always to get Girardi out there at the very least. Hayes butting into his defender. Hagelin on the overlap. Ovechkin was there on the back check. Hagelin accelerates out of the corner. Hayes unguarded. This one's kicked wide of the cage by Girardi as he got entangled there with Hagelin. Ovechkin goes the other way on the drop pass. Burakovsky whiffs on the one-timer. Andre Burakovsky gets to the interior. Fires. That's rejected by Girardi. St. Louis already a multi-point performance for him. He has points in 11 straight games straight up against the Caps.
And in his career, just huge numbers. Over a point per game coming into this one. 76 games played, 82 points in his career against the Caps.
Summers, high slot there for Moore. He checks the clock, 50 seconds to go in the period. Ovechkin with a sturdy bump. Delivered to Boyle. Green keeps it moving. Burakovsky forced back by Moore. Gleason's going to have time to clear. Backstrom strolling through center. Half a minute to go. Ovechkin snapshot on the way, that was blocked. Summers moves it along for Fost. As he'll clear ahead, Shepard has 20 ticks left. A turning Brooks Orpik on the quick reverse. John Carlson launched it down the flank for Johansson. 8 seconds to go. Rangers scored the first 3 of the contest today. Alex Ovechkin, the last man on the board, and after 2, it's 3-1 Rangers. Dominic Moore's 10th came at 2:30. Ovechkin followed about 4 minutes later with his 53rd. A league-leading marker against Henrik Lundqvist. A 3-1 Ranger advantage through 40. Zayo Intermission Live is coming up on the net. Al Koken and Alan May will be in discussion very soon. We'll share the highlights and stats from this matchup and some news and notes from all around the NHL. Rangers and Caps finishing it up. 1 of 15 this day and night. Right from the drop, the Rangers have held the advantage. As we step away, Zayo Intermission Live comes next. The New York Rangers are a terrific first period team. They took advantage and took control of this hockey game today in the first. Led by 2 then. They lead by 2 as we get set for the start of the third. Today's Caps 40th anniversary moment locker. It's brought to you by the Virginia Lottery. It's 2 milestones for Alex Ovechkin.
And start with the points. He gets a deflection in front by Nick Backstrom against the Calgary goalie. Now he's in the franchise record book for points against Montreal. Here it is. Maybe the prettiest goal of the season for the Great 8, and it moves him past the great Peter Bondra.
Alex Ovechkin, a slam dunk winner for another Rocket Richard trophy. Caps fans know that full well. He's in pursuit. He's in the discussion for sure with regard to the Hart Trophy, which is MVP. Hashtag Capitals Talk. The answers continue to flood in. Carey Price, deservedly so, getting a lot of recognition.
Man, obviously, you know, the way he's played up in Montreal, and a lot of teams, guys, Ovi for the Hart, carries the whole, everything on his back. Price for the Vezina. Ovechkin gets the Hart. Vezina, Price, or Holtby. Holtby getting a lot of love from a lot of our great fans here in Washington.
Pretty amazing for Alex to be at 53 goals and counting with this kind of performance in a season where there's not very many, if any, other 40-goal guys.
And you know what's cool about this whole season? You know, you've got all these guys stepping up. Remember a few years ago, the big dilemma in Montreal, Joe B, was against the guy we're going to be playing in the playoffs. Should we move Carey Price or keep Jaro Halak? And that was a big question going on in Montreal. It's amazing.
It's an easy answer for me.
At the time, though, it wasn't as easy.
I know. Barry Trotz's team needs a win today. If the Caps rally to win this hockey game, they will be the second-place team in the Metro. They'd have home ice in their matchup with the Isles. Alex Ovechkin at 475, going strong, tied for 50th. We begin the third period of play on Comcast Sportsnet and all around the world on the American Forces Network. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs, Alan May inside the glass. Al Koken is your rinkside reporter. We tip our cap to all the men and women in our technical crew. A very early day for them here on site at Verizon. And we thank them for their season-long participation in the regular campaign. We can't wait to do the Stanley Cup playoffs again with them on CSN. Marcus Johansson dipping and diving away from Stepan. As help comes from Hunwick, the Rangers clear. Even in full strength, 5-on-5. Niskanen finagles his way ahead. His pass for Kuznetsov is off target. Rangers clinching the President's Trophy. They're the top seed. They'll have home ice throughout these Stanley Cup playoffs. They are the defending Eastern Conference champs, lost in the Cup final last spring to the LA Kings. Niskanen looks to get up into the flow as Ovechkin backtracks. Alzner playing some keep away. Niskanen to a turning Kuznetsov. Ward fires, jabbed aside by Lundqvist. The rebound dribbles to the corner. Penalty call coming up. Shepard was down in a heap.
Yeah, it's going to be Ward going off for an elbowing call. Shepard really down heavily. Wardo came in, and it's a little shiver of the shoulder that the referee detected. I didn't think it was that bad from up here, but we'll have to see on the replays. Ward's being escorted to the box. It'll be a deuce for elbowing against Shepard as he ran into the Ranger forward right into the corner. Ward to the box, a power play coming up. Here's a look at this last play. Here comes Shepard, head down a little bit, and he turns into him. And it is a face blow with the right shoulder and elbow of Joel Ward right there. And that's a penalty against Joel Ward. He goes to the box.
Ranger power play on the season, 16.7% effective. Shepard makes his wobbly way down that dressing room tunnel as the Caps clear shorthanded. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Ranger power play goal from Brassard at 15:50 of the first this afternoon. Rangers trying to take 3 of 4 from Washington this year. Girardi towards the goal. Zuccarello over skates. Hayes on the curl and drag right to the gut of Holtby.
He's had that curl and drag going all afternoon, has Kevin Hayes. He's already got a goal, his 17th of the season, and here's why he makes him so dangerous. Look at how wide he's able to curl that puck away from the penalty killer, Brooks Light. Inside, outside, immediate shot. That is underhandling of the puck by Hayes. The curl and drag just doesn't get past Braden Holtby.
Pretty big gamble by him this year. Doesn't sign. He was a first rounder with the Chicago Blackhawks. Doesn't sign with them. Waits until his eligibility to have to sign an entry-level contract with the Chicago Blackhawks. Chooses the New York Rangers and has fit in here very, very well. He's got 45 points right now in his rookie season. A big guy. Not too many big guys can handle the puck the way he does. He's got silky mitts, a great shot, great poise and patience, and he's been very good without the puck for his team as well all season long.
We've been familiar too, Alan, with his older brother Jimmy from the time in Florida. Both of the Hayes boys were star players at Boston College. Boston University meets Providence College for the Division I Men's Hockey Championship tonight at TD Garden in Boston. Two Hockey East programs that know each other very well. St. Louis sets up shop. Ranger power play, another 125. Martin St. Louis. Bang, bang play. They set it up for Stepan, who low bridged the ref. Jason Chimera comes roaring out of his own zone, and he'll shuffle it into the corner.
And we've had a few stoppages of play in this hockey game. It's a sound that the goalies aren't liking behind them. It's not our cameras, but they are hearing sound inside the net of cameras under the crossbar that they're hearing, and they're questioning the referees about that, and that's why we've had a few delays.
I'll take your word for it.
They were just installed this week in the nets by the National Hockey League.
McDonough on the outside. Yandel for McDonough to bomb away. That's blocked, and it hurt Brooks Laich. St. Louis fires. He cranked that one wide on the short side.
Yeah, Brooks can hardly get up on that left leg of his.
St. Louis turns. Waits. Finds a passing lane. Send it up top for Yandel.
Ouch.
Another blast off of Laich.
I love it. That's awesome.
St. Louis feeds. McDonough fires. Kreider was looking for the tip-in try. Rangers are buzzing here on the power play. Another 20 seconds. Yandel towards the goal. Pad save Holtby. Rebound St. Louis. That was blocked. Defense turned in there by Alzner. St. Louis to the interior. Stepan from glove to stick. Laich will watch Chimera clear, and the Caps roar their approval for Laich and the penalty killers.
He should go right into the locker room, take off his skates, and put him in some ice water. Amazing.
Rangers had 3 shots during the man advantage. Caps back to full strength as Holtby leaves to the turning Gleason. To the cheers of "Let's Go Caps" from the faithful at Verizon Center. Ovechkin turns. His pass was steered away. Zuccarello working down the wall, not going very far.
Man, nice job by Gleason. He did not allow him any space because he can burn you with his speed.
Brassard fires right to the chest of Holtby, who juggled it into the glove. Holtby's making saves, and so are the guys in front of him.
Yeah, he makes some stops here on the PK, sacrificing his Brooks Laich there off the right ankle. Then he's going to get another one, and he turns his left leg. And then Alzner also blocks a shot right here on Marty St. Louis' left leg and left foot. Some good shot blocks you've got to sacrifice. As we went to that little look at some of the blocks, we had some pushing and shoving. Not a whole lot behind the net, but we may have a couple of penalties doled out here in Washington.
On a day when all 30 teams conclude the regular season this Saturday afternoon and evening, Ottawa has a 2-1 lead in Philadelphia. Jean-Gabriel Pageau had the lead goal for the Senators. If they get a point, they're in. Matching minors for roughing have been doled out. Shepard and Gleason will have a seat.
So he's fine after that hit that sent Ward to the box.
Guys, in that Ottawa game, I'm looking at the box score, and Andrew Hammond, the Ottawa goaltender, has 29 saves through 2 periods, and just an amazing job he's done. And if you ask the people in Ottawa, he's a Hart Trophy candidate because they really came from nowhere, and we know he certainly did come from nowhere, and he's just been absolutely sensational all season long, actually in this last half season. And he just continues to look like he's getting better and better every night.
It's incredible how much confidence his teammates have in him.
Well, you have that with a few teams this year. Devin Dubnyk had 39 consecutive starts for the Minnesota Wild. They finally sat him out the other night, and they get a win without him in net, which is something they weren't used to.
Niskanen on the pass here. Nice moves from Ovechkin, who just lost it off the toe drag. Dominic Moore has one of the goals today for New York, a 3-1 leader over the Caps. The Caps, should they prevail in this hockey game, would have home ice in their series against the Isles. They trail the Rangers by 2 as Lundqvist will cover up. Folks, we have McDonald's trivia for you today. Who was the last NHL player to finish the season as a leader in goals, assists, and points? The trifecta. Goals, assists, and points. You need to find the last man to win and lead those categories across the board. Whenever that question comes up, or anything like that type of question, Locker, I immediately lean towards those evil doers in Pittsburgh.
Penguins, yeah.
That's the one. Especially in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Now the question is, which one? Zuccarello fires. Either that or Gretzky all the way back to the end of the Edmonton days. Not Gretzky in LA, but Gretzky in Edmonton for sure. Ponder that as Ovechkin works wide. Girardi angles in. Gets help from McDonough. Good lift check there. Caps have the puck. Moving drive from Orpik. That was stopped.
Out. That stung Girardi on that slap shot. Guy's really paying the price in front of the net. Girardi took that right off his skate boot.
Dan Girardi, never drafted, 30-year-old from Ontario. Wonderful defense combination in concert with McDonough.
And leads the Rangers in hits and blocked shots, and has only taken 22 penalty minutes this season. For how hard he plays, that's quite the amazing stat.
And against whom he plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Loose in front there. There was a lasso supplied on Kuznetsov. Referee Sutherland was right there, said play on. Caps fans hate the call.
He's trying to give his hand signals, arm signals, shake of the head to wave it off for the fans here in Washington.
Yandel will dump it in. Hard around she comes along the boards. Marcus Johansson gathers the biscuit for the Caps. Johansson roaring through center. Marcus Johansson full flight at the attacking line. Drops it on back. Niskanen dodging a defender. Walks into the gut of the defense. There's Lundqvist with a save on Kuznetsov. Johansson moves it inside. Turning. Mike Green. Long slapper sizzles wide of the cage. Caps in the middle of a line. Changes. Yandel will barrel out of his own zone. Washington playing today without Beagle and Fair and Wilson, all of whom Barry Trotz said could very much be ready by midweek when the Caps are expected, underline expected, to open against the Isles.
That's an interesting lineup decisions for Barry Trotz. It's like having another line of forwards ready to go for the game one. It's going to be interesting to see how he mixes and matches come practice time on Monday.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Messrs. Burakovsky and Galiev stick around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Alzner will move it. Those two wingers have been playing most recently with the AHL Hershey Bears. Hershey beat St. John's in St. John's an evening ago, 3-2. As Latta works wide, they play again tonight against the Ice Caps, who are the top development affiliate of the Winnipeg Jets. Point position, Carlson bluffs it, then lets it go, and it's stabbed by Lundqvist. 6:57 into the third. We remain 3-1 for the guys in the white jerseys. Come on back on CSN.
And then for the New York Rangers, Dominic Moore, a beautiful goal. He's in double digits. He's got his 10th on a wicked, good-looking snapshot backhand.
And the Capitals captain has 9 hits, but it's his 53rd goal, NHL League leading, and his 25th power play goal, NHL League leading, that finally gets the Capitals on the board today.
Alex Ovechkin now 6 years as the Capitals captain, watching his mates trying to rally back against the Rangers, trailing by 2 with just less than 13 minutes to go in the regular season regulation time. Rangers, the President's Trophy winners, can still face Detroit, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, or Boston. The Caps know they have a date to come with the Isles.
And they're trying to set the record books in New York with their most wins in a single season and most points in their franchise history.
Andre Burakovsky will swing. Rangers getting a line change going. Burakovsky zigs and zags through center. Andre Burakovsky fires a good-looking wrist shot. Niskanen with a slapper. That was muffled on the way. Yandel, so good on the power play, moves it ahead. We're at even strength here, 5-on-5. Niskanen on to Alzner. Keep it hot, but Hunwick anticipated that, shimmying in from the point. JT Miller goes after Matt Niskanen. Troy Brouwer moves it cross rink. Alzner to clear in. This is a Washington team that has surrendered the fewest goals in the NHL in the third period. Very tough to crack. Braden Holtby and the boys. The Rangers had 2 in the first, 1 more in the second. Gleason clears this one. That's deflected out of play by Zuccarello as we share time here with Al Koken.
Well, Joe, one of the things that I found interesting, at least through the first 2 periods of this game, is you've had a situation where even though Barry Trotz wants to play all of his players, he's not giving them the usual amount of ice time. For example, the ice time leader for the Washington Capitals amongst defensemen in those first 2 periods were Tim Gleason with 14:32. Their normal ice time leader, John Carlson, only played 11 minutes and 49 seconds. So in some regards, he's giving some certain players a rest while keeping everybody still in the lineup, trying to get home ice advantage.
Pushing the buttons behind the Washington bench on this Fan Appreciation Day. Rangers will clear in. That's a set play looking for Shepard. The big bounce as Ovechkin comes high stepping back through center. Backstrom met there at the blue line, and this is offside against Washington.
Meeting of the minds right at the Ranger bench there. Sticks up, some face washes. The Capitals having a hard time getting shots towards Lundqvist in the first 8 and the second 9. And here in the third period, just 2 shots against Lundqvist, their goalie. Here's why this happens. A little hit there by Shepard. Then Ovechkin comes in. Some pushing and shoving ensues. They'll be easily separated here in the third period.
Mentioned the Fan Appreciation Day. We want to wish Rebecca Thomas all the best and a speedy recovery from surgery this week. We know she's watching this afternoon. Rangers have a 3-1 advantage over her Caps. The Washington team that's going to the postseason for the 7th time in the last 8 seasons and is winners of its 7 of its last 10. Joel Ward ready to take this draw. Caps fell behind early in this contest and at one point by a 3-0 margin. Rangers out shooting the Caps 24-19 overall. Kuznetsov with Hayes draped over top of him. Marcus Johansson shortens up on his stick. Nice stick handling moves for Alzner. Looking for the tip-in try. It sailed past Joel Ward as the Rangers will clear. St. Louis 2-on-2 for Hayes. Rangers minus Rick Nash, their goal-scoring champ. Mark Stahl, one of their top defenders, also out of the lineup. With Zuccarello's return, the Rangers scratched Ryan Bourque, son of Hall of Famer Ray.
Yeah, second son to make it to the National Hockey League. We had the other one, Chris, here for a while.
Both teams shifting personnel. Like through center. Will clear in. Brooks Like, sturdy penalty killing chores in this period. Gets pummeled along the backboards there. Moore knocked him down. Glass throttled pretty good by Chimeri. See Like it in there too. The Rangers will try the other flank. Glass speeds to the outside. His wrister was blocked by Green. Heavy hit comes from Gleason. Point position, Hunwick. Steps into the outside, does Hunwick. Delayed penalty call against the Caps. Bang, bang play. Foss was beaten by Holtby, and now the whistle comes with more pushing and shoving.
Yeah, it's Glass and Gleason. That's a heavyweight bout in front of the net.
The gloves are off.
Whoa, Gleason's getting that right hand free in a hurry.
You gotta love the way he gets involved, sticking up for his teammates. Tanner Glass, a very tough player. He's been tough since he got in the league. Always stands up for his teammates, and these guys are just giving it to each other.
Great fight. Gleason had the upper hand
How
early.
about the tap on the head there? That was a heck of a fight. One of the best of the year.
Both of those guys marked up at the end of it. We'll get you back to Verizon Center in just a few moments. Gleason catching his breath in the penalty box after a really good scrap with Tanner Glass. Inside the glass is Alan May.
Well, we saw some tough hockey out of Tim Gleason right now, but one of the guys missing from today's lineup, Tom Wilson, the big guy, the Punisher, the guy that really wreaks havoc on the opposition's D. The Caps have to get him back. You look at Jay Beagle, Mr. Everything, a great utility player, had a phenomenal season for the Capitals before going out with an upper body injury. But the guy they really miss right now more than anybody, Eric Fair. He's done such a great job as a third-line center this season. He's contributed offensively, but it's his play without the puck, the stealing of the puck, the turnovers he creates, the momentum that he creates inside the offensive zone on the forecheck. Just been a wonderful player to watch this year, and I'm really having a hard time figuring out who is the most improved Capital from last season to this season. I've got Jay Beagle, I've got Eric Fair, I've got Carl Alzner and Marcus Johansson. Pretty tough pick, but it goes with the coaching of this team. All those guys really upped their game this season.
Pretty sure we heard Barry Trotz say that he felt like Alzner might have been the very most improved. Washington is short a man here. Gleason received the minor for cross-checking and then the matching majors for fighting doled out between himself and Tanner Glass. We've crossed the midway mark of the third. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Rangers trying to improve their lead. St. Louis Inside, Stepan drags it wide. A Ranger team that's won 9 of its last 10 on the road. The bank off the boards. Kreider gets into it with Orpik. On top for McDonough, and that'll just bounce away from him.
And for Gleason, that's his 55th fight in the NHL, Joby. This year, Roussel, Tutu, Jackman, the other Jackman, Tim Jackman and Barrett Jackman, and today, Tanner Glass.
St. Louis waits. Thank you for looking up the fight card.
Yeah, I like looking that up. I knew he had fought several times, and notice the guys he fights with. Tough guys, you know, and Tutu, Roussel, Barrett Jackman's always tough. Tim Jackman, go down the list of the tough guys that he's had to fight.
Gleason had the upper hand early in that fight. Glass came on strong at the end, and both those warriors saluted each other upon separation. We think Glass has gone to the Ranger dressing room for a moment.
Yep.
Brassard steps and fires, blocker down by Holtby. Along the boards, Rangers on the power play, another 27 seconds. 4 and 5 in the scrum. You get a real good look at it. Brassard leaking to the front. Long drive Girardi. That's a routine save for Braden Holtby. Folks, listen up. Caps and Telos Corporation, they're raising money for the nonprofit organization TAPS. Through the sale of Courage caps and t-shirts, you help support those who suffered the loss of a military loved one. Go to WashingtonCaps.com to purchase yours. On this April 11th, the final day of the regular season in the NHL, the Caps knew if they picked up 2 points today, they'd have home ice in their best of 7 against the Isles. The Rangers are 7 minutes and 50 seconds away from preventing that, at least for now. Caps can still be the number 2 in the Metro if they get some help from Columbus tonight, should they lose this one. Boyle moves it on the flank. Moore twisting it ahead. Fost into space for Moore. He had the insurance goal in the second period. Caps and Rangers back to 5-on-5. It's Burakovsky exploring neutral ice. Took his eyes off of the puck as he moved in on Girardi. Burakovsky there, and Girardi got hit up high.
Yep.
You could see Girardi throw his head back, and the official spotted it.
Yep, the Caps are going to go to the sin bin once again. Another penalty kill coming up. Sort of an errant stick right to the head of Girardi. The Caps will go short-handed here. Barry Trotz looks on, trying to make a comeback. Burakovsky to the box. Happened as he tried to step around him. Right there, his stick comes up. Burakovsky to the box. It's actually OV here. OV claps him, and he doesn't go to the box. Now they're making the exchange at the penalty box. Burakovsky went in, then Alex went in, and so it's Alex Ovechkin going off for the high stick.
Oh, the head snap in the visor. That was a pretty good one. Gotta love the back ref calling those types of calls.
He said, dripping with sarcasm. Capitals post-game live presented by your DC area Acura dealers to follow. Al Koken and Alan May will be right here at Verizon Center for that on this Fan Appreciation Day. Stats are packaged by the UPS Store. We thank the UPS Store and all of our generous sponsors for their support. Cover to cover during the regular season. Can't wait to get involved and sink our teeth in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Washington playing shorthanded as Brouwer juggles that out of the air and finds Brooks Like with a nice move on McDonough, who just stayed in his chest long enough. Stepan out of his own zone. On the wing for the speedster named Chris Kreider. Kreider lurking below the goal line. Plays it top side to McDonough. Yandel, wrister, glove save, Holtby. Yandel, number 2 in the NHL when it comes to power play assists. Locker earlier this day, your voice on value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
And keep it clicking. I'm not sure that happened today in this game against the Rangers. Came out a little slow out of the gate, got behind the 8 ball, Niskanen and the boys, but this is a team that's been very, very good all season long. Don't take much of this game so far. The real season starts hopefully, I think, Wednesday, we expect. We'll have to wait and see for the schedule to come out either late tonight or early tomorrow morning from the National Hockey League. But the Caps, coming off a brilliant season, just have to look at this game, try to get back in it, see what they can do the last 6.5 minutes.
against a Ranger team that is now 8 times a division champ. Rangers winning the Metropolitan and winning the President's Trophy this season. Boyle closing. Girardi's blast booted away by Holtby and cleared to safety by Matt Niskanen.
Some of the moves they made, you know, to me it's Stanley Cup or bust. I mean, they gave up a lot for a guy like Yandel. They try to win this season. They want to go all the way to the promised land like they did last year, except end up victorious instead of losing in the final.
Well, that's a really good looking hockey team in white.
Sure is.
When they're all in with Klein, with Stahl, with Nash, they set up well. Ottawa is closing in on a playoff berth. They're beating Philadelphia today at Wells Fargo Center.
Stone a pair of goals, Joe.
I think he just has taken over the league lead, or tied the league lead in rookie goal scoring, and really he's put up all of his numbers since about the 40-game mark, maybe tied in points and goals as we speak.
Stone and Hoffman, Allen, both outstanding freshman years for the Senators. For the longest time, we felt like the Rookie of the Year was a battle between guys with the names Ekblad and Goudreau and Forsberg. Still very well may be. John Carlson hustles back through center with 5:48 to go in this one's regulation time. Chimera to the goal mouth, stick save Lundqvist. And Stepan will send it ahead. Kreider onto a turning St. Louis. One-on-one, he fidgets. On the push through against Orpik. A pad save for Holtby against a man who has given him fits in their overlapping career. St. Louis so stout against the Caps and Braden Holtby. Winding it up through center. Brassard's relays an aerial past Zuccarello. Niskanen there with 5:15 to go in the third period. And New York still 2 better than homestanding Washington.
Marty St. Louis, Joe B, instant into the Hall of Fame.
He would be if I were voting, for sure.
Me too.
Boyle on the go, crisscross there, backhand for Zuccarello on a stick save.
Just imagine the career he would have had if they would have let him play in the NHL before he was 27 years old. I think that's when he became a regular in this league. So it's an exceptional career. He's done everything.
Snapshot and a pad save. An MVP in this league, Allen. He was never drafted. He's only all of what, 5'8", 180 pounds, but rock solid and such a terrific leader and goal scoring and point provider back in his heyday with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Sort of a guy that made the little man more prevalent in the National Hockey League because of what he did. You know, you look at the Hart, the Ross, the Cup, several Lady Bings. Definitely a Hockey Hall of Famer as soon as he decides to hang them up.
One on the screen there too.
Yes.
3-1 New York. Back for this one's conclusion after this. Have that 3-1 advantage. They've been clinging to it for a while. 4:21 to go in the third. Earlier McDonald's trivia. Who's the last NHL player to finish the season leading in goals, assists, and points?
Number 66 I'm going with in Pittsburgh.
Magnifique.
Yep, that's who I'm going with, and there it is. Look at that season.
Not too shabby.
How the heck do you get 161 points?
Backstrom, Ovechkin, and Johansson across the top. Barry Trotz needs a couple of goals quickly. Washington knew that if they won today in any fashion, they would be the second place finisher in the Metro as Fost has the puck for New York.
They're going to need shots to score. 13-3 favor the Rangers here in the third period.
If the Rangers down the Caps today, the only way then that the Caps would be the 2 in the Metro would be if the Islanders lose in any way. Should the Islanders win tonight in any fashion, they would go by Washington if this score holds. As Lundqvist makes the save on Marcus Johansson, and he hears the whistle.
A little bit of fencing in the corner there. Dominic Moore and Marcus as he tried to score short side against Henrik Lundqvist. Joe B made a point earlier on in the telecast about his consistency, consistently getting 20 wins. Well, how about 30 wins? Lundqvist, the only season without 30 wins was the lockout shortened season in 12-13 when he ended up with 24. He again is on the cusp of another 30-win season here today.
Only Roberto Luongo among active goalies with more wins than Henrik Lundqvist. 3:45 left in this one. Caps need 2 to tie. Niskanen floats it wide of the goal. Burakovsky and Kuznetsov and Glencross out there now in the Winter Classic red for Washington. Green steps in, fires, juggled by Lundqvist off the splits. Rebound, he made another pad save. To the boards we go. Shots on goal 32-22 in favor of New York. Boyle sweeps away from the pressure. Lobs it ahead for J.T. Miller, and then Stepan works back 2-on-2 down the flank. Hagelin will hook. On the combination passing play for J.T. Miller, he straightens up Burakovsky there on a counter hit. McDonough for Brassard. Glove save Holtby on a dipping drive, and Braden will reel it in for the whistle.
Mike Green, the best opportunity here in the third period for the Capitals. He had clear sailing right from the point on in, and here he is, and that's his bread and butter shot, trying to go roof, glove side of goaltenders, and just misses. Notice Lundqvist, more of a blocker rather than a catching goaltender, just sort of blocks it with his arm and his catching glove, and it laid there for a second. Best opportunity goes to Mike Green.
Mike Green's next goal, that'll move him past Calle Johansson for third most by a Cap defender ever.
5 points in the last 5 games for Green. Getting hot at the right time.
2:55 left in regulation. Rangers had nothing on the line today. Johansson speeds to the front. Snapshot coming as Braden Holtby is racing for the bench. Extra attacker on with 2:40 to go for Washington. Joel Ward, cross rink, John Carlson. Waits for the screen to develop. Ovechkin towards the goal, deflected down and wide. It was Ward tipping that one. Zuccarello shifts it ahead. That Zuccarello will play only as far as Shepard at the center stripe. 6 attackers on for Washington, needing 2 to tie. Down the wing comes Johansson. Summers keeping an eye on him. Brouwer joins the fray. Ward is there. This way for Carlson's one-timer was blocked. 2 minutes to go in the regular season. Moore on the headman. Fost has the step and just hooks that one home. Jesper Fast.
Good play by Dominic Moore, getting the puck to Fost, making sure he laid it to him. He was probably not even thinking shot right from the moment he got it. Just sort of threw it right up to Fost, playing on his line. Here comes the play out of the zone by Tanner Glass to Dominic Moore. The sauce over the Capitals defenseman. Sharp angle before Nick can get to it. And Fost has sealed the deal here in Washington at Verizon Center today.
Jesper Fast at 18:06. Barry Trotz's team soon to fall to the New York Rangers, who will set a franchise record with their 53rd win in this regular season.
So I guess we're watching hockey all night tonight, hey guys? We're going to see what happens in the Islanders game, and we've got some college hockey to watch, and a lot of different matchups to pay attention to tonight.
Boston University and Providence in the men's Division I final as Burakovsky juggled, had his wrister blocked. The Terriers are a 5-time national champion.
How cool is that? All in Boston for those two schools that face each other all season long.
New England will be humming.
Sure will.
J.T. Miller along the boards. The Islanders will play the last ever regular season game at Nassau Coliseum tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and if the Islanders win, they will have home ice against the Caps in the playoffs. That first round series to unfold in the week ahead. Be sure to check us out on CSN for the schedule to come. Glass to turn. Chimera is there. The Rangers take 3 of 4 from Washington. They win both in this building, in fact. Green working ahead for Orpik. 38 seconds to go. On Fan Appreciation Day, the Caps will give these jerseys off their back to the fans as Latta fires high. Follow-up chance at a backhand. Score! Galiev tucks it home for his first NHL marker.
And Latta pushing and shoving after that goal. Galiev, get that puck, Caps. There it is behind the post, the center post, right in the back of the net. We'll see if the official goes over and fishes it out here. Here's a nice play behind the net. Galiev, who has 25 goals in the American League. Sharp angle shot, looking to get forehand, backhand. And the referee and linesman are going down now to fish it out from behind Henrik Lundqvist. That's a keepsake. You've got to find that puck. Chimera going over to make sure he gets it from the linesman. There it is. He gives it to Chimmer. He makes sure the youngster getting his first NHL goal. It'll go on a plaque. It'll be forever thought about. Anybody's first goal is something special.
Yeah, hey mom, hey dad, yeah, got my first NHL goal against Henrik Lundqvist. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
And he couldn't celebrate because the team is losing, so he didn't go crazy, poor kid. But congrats to him for getting that goal. Great work by him the last 2 games. Nose to the net, a lot of crafty little plays on the boards, hustled every shift that he was out there, and congratulations to him. Special day.
19:31, the time of the tally makes it 4-2. The Washington Capitals trailing the New York Rangers. This loss today in 15 seconds means that the Caps will finish with 101 points and await the outcome of the Columbus-New York Islander game tonight. If Columbus beats the Isles, then Washington will have home ice. All that remains to be seen. This one is done. The New York Rangers come to town and secure a 4-2 decision for Henrik Lundqvist. Folks, today's Caps player of the game, sponsored by the Palm Restaurant, will choose Alex Ovechkin.
Got his 53rd goal, 9 hits, 2 shots, 37 goals his last 46 games. The best in the biz when it comes to goal scoring. Why not? He needs a big stake to get ready for the playoffs.
Enter to be the Palm Fan of the Month at thepalm.com/fan. Rangers celebrate a record-setting 53rd win. For Craig, for Alan, for Al, for all men and women in the crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Be sure you check the CSNWashington.com for the latest updates on all the playoff dates for the Caps. The schedule is not yet determined. Up next, Caps Postgame Live. Al Koken and Alan May. Stay with us. Our postgame festivities follow after this commercial break.